Welcome to this Mindset Change series with your usual host. Today, I would like us to reflect on the one of the most important things that we do, and we do it unconsciously because we think that's how life is. Of course, that's how life is. If someone asks you to say the decision you've made, is it the best decision or is it a wise decision? What will be going on in your head? For sure, all of us go for the best decision. The wisdom may come at a later stage. But these are something that resonates in each and every one of us. And each and every one of us makes 100 decisions every day, every week. And those decisions, sometimes they affect us, or sometimes they affect our friends, and even by extension, our family members. Well, still, uh, we make decisions that has consequences end of the day. Why? Because some of those decisions, though on the face value may have looked very good, but turned out to be bad. And these decisions include simple things like when to wake up, which side of the bed to sleep, what to eat in a day. Those are all decisions. Oppose or any food is good, but if you take too much, then it becomes poison. Apart from these simple things, they may also include a complex of things like choosing a life partner, a career, or even a belief system. What do I believe in? Why should I believe in that? These are all decisions that we make. Some decisions were made by our parents, we just follow through. Some decisions us were making them. Now, here's the problem. These choices are done unconscious or automatic. And most of the times we fail to see the long-term consequences. We should bear in mind that even a very simple decision we make has a consequence. In fact, every decision produces a final choice. Unfortunately, we can't back up. Once a decision is made, we move on. Even if we change our mind at a certain point, say, well, I made it back to you, but a choice was made, and that choice was fine. The only thing we do is maybe regret. And regrets, they are part and parcel of life. Therefore, we should not be wondering why sometimes we say, why did I do this? We should not be wondering that because that's how it is. Or questions like, what should I do now? Could I have done better than this? How can I make things good for this? If we think of this, you'll find that most of the times, decisions that we make as human beings has consequences. And most of such questions, we tend to wonder why, as much as we do need God, we end up doing something very bad. Are we having an upset God? Or we're just accepting the status quo, that's how it's supposed to be? And Because of that, sometimes we become so disoriented, or we reach a point where we want other people to make decisions for us. However, when things go wrong, we blame others, which means as human beings, we are bound to make a decision in one way or the other. If we read Proverbs 14, verse 8 says, wisdom is prudent. Wisdom of the prudent is to understand the way. What do you want in life? What is your direction? What is your ultimate goal? That's the prudence of life. And Proverbs 14:15 says, the simple believe anything. You know, sometimes decisions are made because our friends have told us so, and we believe it. But we bear the consequences because of our belief, which means we need to give thought. The prudence there now will be to give it a thought. Does it align with what I believe? Does it align with my ultimate goal? Then Proverbs 13:16 adds, a wise man thinks ahead, which means if you know your direction, if you know your ultimate goal, it means every decision you make now should be aligned to whatever you want to do in the future. One of the renowned Bible teacher, Dr. David Jeremiah, I like his episodes, had this to say about decisions. If you are to make them, if they have to contain the wisdom that is needed in that decision. He presented about five points, which I find very, very interesting. One, he says, the best decisions reflect our personal values. We need to understand that each time we make a choice, it is a turning point in our life. Therefore, any choice needs to be in tandem or aligned to our core values, the belief that we have, the ultimate goal that we have. Let's not just make a choice for the sake of making a choice. It won't work. Two, the best decisions is all the time a result of prayer and reflection. Most of us, we are busy, and we are busy with almost everything in life. Do we find time to reflect on our own? Do we find time to reconnect with our Creator? Remember, every person on this earth is put with a purpose. And that purpose can only be found if and only if we have time to reflect. We should make sure that big decisions are supposed to be done with God as a partner and not just a springboard. How? A springboard, you just use to jump and you forget about it. A partner, you work with that person. So decisions, we need to have God as our partner, our Creator as our partner. As provided in Proverbs 15:22 and 11:14, best decisions always heed wisdom of others. There need to be time when we need to consult our senior citizens. They have been longer enough, and surely they have also made a decision that we are about to make. So let's try to heed the wisdom. If they tell us that the path we are taking will lead us to, will lead us somewhere where we are going to regret, let's take heed of that. It's not that every decision, every advice they give, you're going to take it. No. But let's make sure we heed that. The fourth point he mentions is best decisions take time. After all, what is more important is the destination and not the speed. So we need to avoid snap decisions. The quick fixed one. No. Otherwise, the quick fix, they end up to be just mere guesses. Therefore, announcing or acting on a decision is best to take it your time, sleep on it. Your creator may have another plan. And on this point, Jeremiah says, and I quote, most successful executives are never impressed by quick decisions, but by the steps taken to elaborate it. When I was working with a certain boss in the private sector, when I come up with a suggestion, he would actually say, okay, I've heard about you, leave it here, I'll go through it. When he does that, when he calls you back in your office, you should be prepared to defend that. Because the most interested part of whatever you wanted was the steps that you took. One, what made you to make this decision, or what made you this choice, and why do you recommend that we need to do this? What value is it adding on the company? Those are the questions. And I made sure that if I go to him with a suggestion or a recommendation, I've weighed all the pros and the cons. And I should be convinced that there's a value in that. Then the last one, as believers, best decisions are always committed to God. We may make a decision, but we need to earnestly base a decision on unforeseen values. Pray over them, make them fruitful, base them on wise counsel, and commit them to the Creator. He knows the best for us, and He will bless them. If we make a wrong decision at the end of the day, surely, because He is our partner, He knows how best to correct them. To this end, therefore, we need to understand that every decision, whether small or big, has consequences. Just as Deuteronomy 30:19 states, I have said before you life or death. So He has given us life or death. What do we choose? Sometimes death may not be seen as straightforward, or life may not be seen as straightforward. But at the end of the day, these are the two choices. Or He says, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life, that you and your descendants may live. All of us would like to live, irrelevant of our situation. If the worst person in the world, so we need to choose life. Why? That's the best choice. That's the wise thing. And we need to understand that every choice we make is a seed we sow. And those seeds need to produce fruit. So it's either the fruits will be death or the fruits will be life. Therefore, we need to choose wisely at the end of the day. Thank you for being with me. I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you.